trying to join. Samantha Miss, Angst, Victory Vane and Nemesis. They all won the first 3 legs of the series. So, Duff, this is a real interest coming up here. Can Libertini keep going? Is Fun Star up to the task today?
Well, that's about to be answered. One thing you just said then.
And she's very, very forward.
Set to Tura.
And she's one exciting filly. Fun Star's got a huge future. Don't know whether it's going to be at this distance, but there's a lot of supporters around for her today. I also agree.
2 and a camera. We're up to the first of our features, the Dali T-Rose Stakes, and Libertini and Fun Star have it between them in the betting here, certainly not the end of the chances.
Gates are open, they're off and racing, and St Covered Spirit jumped away well. Anahid is pushing on together with Fun Star. Now Libertini's a couple of lengths off them and staying wide early stages. Then came Aspect Ratio as Anahid goes to the front now. Back in the field is Let It Pour from Probabile Subpoenaed, and Emeralds is the last one. So Anahid in front, and Berry sends Libertini forward. He allowed her to do it under her own steam, and Libertini goes to a clear second now, and Fun Star will take the set and sit right behind the Glamour Mare in third, followed by Aspect Ratio improving. Then St Covered Spirit the outside. Further back to Subpoenaed, who's caught 3 wide around Let It Pour, then Probabile, and Emeralds is the last one. There's only about 4 or 5 lengths covering the field, and Anahid leads at the 600 metres from the odds-on favourite Libertini. Fun Star moves up on the outside, getting closer now as they come around the corner. St Covered Spirit out deep from Aspect Ratio, and then came Let It Pour, top of the straight now. Anahid being eyeballed by Libertini and Fun Star, really keeping tabs with a pair of them. 300 metres to run. Libertini and Fun Star. McDonald goes for Fun Star. Berry says, go girl now with Libertini. Stride for stride. Libertini the inside of Fun Star. Probabile's coming with a big run late. It's Libertini and Fun Star slogging it out. Nothing in it. Right down to the wire. Fun Star puts the nose in front. Probabile dived. Oh, what a finish. Probabile has dived at Fun Star, and Libertini triple go. Emeralds next, followed by St Covered Spirit, then Subpoenaed, Anahid, Let It Pour, and Aspect Ratio.
What a race. What a finish. Who has won it? Who has won the T-Rose? Has Fun Star got its nose down on the line? Looming late. The post comes up. Who's there? Oh, it says Fun Star. We can't see Libertini's nose over on the inside. It looks like she's run third. That tells us, and that photo confirms that Fun Star's got there. Number 5, Fun Star, has beaten number 3, Probabile, and let's wrap it up in a short time. We'll come back and hear from Jay. The races before in the T-Rose. Libertini, the hot favourite, going to 1400 for the first time. Fun Star stepping up in distance as well. Probabile coming late. Watch this. This was a fantastic race.
Oh, terrific race. And, you know, like another bunch finish. But I love this win. I love the ride. McDonald rode her to win. You know, in the ideal world, you don't want to be bustling these staying fillies up. But he rode this filly, Fun Star, to get the favourites back, Libertini. I know, and she did over-race and not settle as well as the other horses in the race. So for her to hang on there, I think she'll be much better when she gets to a mile, put to sleep and come with her own finish rather than bustling her out of the comfort zone. She had to be ridden like that to win yesterday, so it was a smart ride from McDonald. Probabile was fantastic. She's right in line for the mile as well. And Libertini, well, it's probably confirmed that she is a sprinter. She had every hope. She relaxed beautifully outside the lead. She was there to sprint away at the right time, but just found the other 2 fillies. I know there's only a nose or whatever, but they just look like they're better. As if she went to the mile, I think it would be...
They're better over the 1400.
As if she went to the mile, I think it would be...
They're better over the 1400.
Yes.
In comparison to her.
Exactly, and they'd be better again over a mile.
Exactly. I just loved Probabile in that. I just...
She's yours?
Yeah, I just loved her. The way she found the line, and she's just the way she's developed from last preparation as well. Emeralds in the right sort of race.
Living up to the word that you said about her, Ray Thomas actually asked you at a press conference, name the 3 horses you're most looking forward to, and I think this girl came out first.
Yeah, she's a really talented horse and a lovely horse to work with.
Rightio, so Libertini still might go to the flight, or could divert to the Coolmore, or could go to the paddock. 100 metres at Group 3 level, and our manning yard is brought to us by Harvey Norman. You can shop with confidence. If you need advice, they're there to help. Start with Tally.
Starter on the platform. Off and racing now. Cascadian was last out of the gates, the favourite, and Avantage jumped well wide out with Desert Lord, and Archidemus pretty handy as well as Desert Lord once the front. Star of the Seas improves going to 4th, followed then by Purple Sector. Then came My Expression on the rails. Tally deeper out from Fierce Impact Colding, and Cascadian is the last one. So Desert Lord takes up the running out by a length and Avantage. Archidemus leaders back 3rd, a length and a half to Purple Sector on the outside of Star of the Seas. They're followed then by Tally, is in a 3-wide position. On the outside of Fierce Impact, My Expression Colding, and Cascadian's last of all. Desert Lord leads approaching the 600, out by a length on the Kiwi Avantage. Then came Archidemus from Purple Sector. Star of the Seas 5th, the rails. Then Tally from Fierce Impact. No change to the order from My Expression Colding, and Cascadian cluttered up at the tail of the field. Around the turn, Desert Lord in front. Avantage off the bridle in second. Archidemus moves up. Then came Purple Sector. Star of the Seas Colding down the outside. Cascadian's in a traffic jam behind them. Desert Lord still in front. It beat off Archidemus. Wide out Colding. Fierce Impact is squeezing through with a good run. Fierce Impact and Colding down the outside, and Fierce Impact takes the lead from Colding sticking on. Fierce Impact. Colding dives again and got up. I think Colding come back to beat Fierce Impact. Desert Lord 3rd. Cascadian got clear when it was all over. Then Purple Sector and Tally from Archidemus, Avantage, Star of the Seas, and My Expression. Photo.
Well, everyone was calling Fierce Impact the winner, and Colding is lunged right on the line. They came together. Here's the posts. Bang! Got him.
Colding. He's a good horse. He's a good horse.
Colding.
He's a very good horse. I think he'd only had a soft run leading into this. He's going to improve again out of this, and he had him cold there.
Chris Waller decided to stay in the Bill Ritchie. It offered an exemption from ballot and also no penalty. So 50.5 for the Epsom Colding.
Yeah, they've definitely beaten the handicap, and I still think he's got more to come. He announced himself over winter as a gelding, and I think he's announcing himself over spring. He's second up here after not having a hard run and held up first up. Geez, you would have swore blind Fierce Impact was just going to blow him away. He comes from behind him, well, I don't know, it can be misleading, but it looks a length to me, or 3/4 at least. And then the big boy gets in, has a go. Maybe come to the end of his run there, Fierce Impact, but I still think holding 50.5 in an Epsom. Cascadian, little excuses there. I still think he's got a peak performance in him. He's not peaking yet. Look at Star of the Seas behind there. It's one of them runs, you'll never know at all. He was travelling and had plenty to offer.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say that he would have made it very, very interesting at the end of that race. Cascadian, from my perspective, he's still not quite there. He just still hasn't acclimatised yet, but he's...
Sailors Falls is the favourite way to go there. So Sky 2 with Tatura. The Bowman's Office Furniture Shorts. It's a race that's certainly seen a little bit of a hit to scratchings with a few of the key Tab Everest chances coming out due to the wet track, Tony, but still, certainly there's some quality there, and top quality with Red Zell Pirata through the Concord, and Classic Legend with the Great Trials, the Grey. It's a terrific race. Just before we get...
Colgate Optic White Day, they fit in perfectly. Only 5 runners, but this Everest is capturing everyone's attention, and this is just another lead-up.
Ready now, and they're racing. Red Zell jumped well off the inside. Home of the Brave away well, but Red Zell's going to lead from Home of the Brave. Classic Legend Pirata parked right behind her, and Graffer's going to settle last. Red Zell holds down the front. Home of the Brave's not going to push it. Red Zell leads by a length. Back in third, Classic Legend travelling strongly. 3/4 for the back two, Pirata, and 2.5 to Graff at the tail of the field. Richie Rich, Red Zell with a bankroll of 15.5 million, leads the way from Home of the Brave. Classic Legend Pirata Parada doing the chasing, and 2 further back to Graff coming to the turn. Red Cell's had it easy in the lead. Comes around the corner, 3/4 to Home of the Brave. Classique Legend still on the bridle, and Parada's pulling out. Graff getting into his coattails at the 300 now, and Red Cell still travelling by 2. Classique Legend's pushing off the fence. Parada the outside. It's game on now. Parada moves up to Red Cell, and Classique Legend squeezing through the middle. Parada, Red Cell, Classique Legend. Parada with his head in front, and Parada too strong there in the shorts. Great race. Parada beat Classique Legend. Red Cell third, close up Graff, and Home of the Brave was last in.
Oh, another scintillating race down this Randwick Straight, and what an Everest we're in for. Parada has got the shorts. There's your new favourite for the Everest. There's your new favourite. For
Actionals there, but it was all about Parada. That was his race, and Classique Legend will lose no admirers. First up, that level, just got off balance a little trying to get into the clear there, but just a recent run told the tale there. You're right, the Tab Everest is alive and well. You could make cases for all of them.
I went a little bit earlier on him than I would have liked because I was trying to get around Home of the Brave and shut the door a bit on Nash, but he poked his head through anyway, and my bloke, he thought, he just steadied himself when he got to the front, but then when he felt Classique Legend come, he just surged again, He's just such a try. He knows when the winning post is, and Greg and I have been saying all prep he's come back bigger, stronger and better, and he has.
He certainly...
And bring on 3 weeks' time.
Enjoy the win, Tommy. Well done.
Cheers.
Well, he's really come of age now.
Yeah, no, he is. Worked out perfect, and he let down and he fought really hard to the line, and he's right where we want him.
Is that how you thought the race should pan out, just with a nice sit-off? A 5-horse race. What a tussle down the straight. And as soon as they hit the line, you thought, well, this Everest, what is it going to be like this year? And there's more to come. There were only 3 confirmed runners out of that race, and they ran 1, 2, 3, and Graff did nothing but enhance his prospects to get in.
He's still alive. His name would still be in discussions for that last slot or 2. But yeah, look at this race. The questions haven't been answered still, and there's more to come in the next couple of weeks. Parada, he has done nothing wrong, has he? And he's 2 runs back, scintillating first up, gets the job done there. Second up, Classique Legend. First up, first try at that level on a soft track. You'd have to say there only has to be upside with him. We've spoke about Red Zell. He's a grand final type horse. His quarterfinal form is fantastic. His semi-final's always a little bit sus.
His form going into this year's Everest in comparison to last year's Everest is the same?
I'd say so.
Probably better because he had that setback.
That's right, yes. He had that strained muscle behind.
I think they're pretty... I don't think they're worried about anything this time. So I think they're...
From my perspective, obviously, you would have seen Classique Legend has got quite a lot of improvement in him as far as his coat is concerned and as far as his fitness is concerned. So from a yard perspective, he's the horse that's going to make a giant leap into his fitness and will be the one improving, whereas the other 2 are just ticking over nicely and will be peaking on the day. Well, they're pretty much at their peak fitness. They've just got to maintain their condition now.
That's the making of this race this year. I'd suggest at this stage we're talking... like last year, 7-1 the field.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to the market.
They could do a deal with James.
Yeah.
Because Osborne Bulls.
Parada trial into the Everest. Centre and a lane, a few options. The Moya's been mentioned, the Gill guy or the Premier on the same day. Arcadia Queen, we're not 100% sure whether that's it for her, whether she has another run or goes straight in. Peter Snowden, he couldn't hide anything there.
No, you wouldn't want to play. You want to play him at poker, wouldn't you?
Classique Legend, would Classique Legend have run in the Premier 2 weeks in? Osborne Bulls, was there talk that he even may go into it fresh if they picked him?
Yeah, that was an option.
Elise, not sure. Enticing Star next week, Golden.
Classique Legend, first up, first run coming off an impressive 3-year-old season. Throws down the gauntlet in no uncertain terms of what's to come.
And was clearly the best rated race in terms of closing sectionals. The closing sectionals they posted here off a pretty steady early pace early was great. But Corey, this was a great race.
It was a great, and that's what you want to see with good horses like this, like Parada. And even Graff getting home from the tail of the field. There's some small field, but some really, really good runs. And
but that last little bit, Parada was still just roaring away again. Like, I think he saw the horse on the inside come up alongside, and he just found that extra half a length when he needed to.
I think given the race shape, Mike, they didn't go overly quick that first little bit, and then they've picked it up, so there wasn't going to be big margins, but that probably upgrades his performance, doesn't it? Because he was strong through the line.
Yeah. I would have been interested to know if Classique Legend, if it had got out a little bit sooner off Redzill's back.
A smooth run?
Yeah, a bit smoother run. I'm not saying it makes the difference, but just a bit more room earlier in the straight. I thought his run was terrific. I thought he, you know, like where Parada has...
It sets up for a phenomenal Everest, doesn't it? When we haven't seen Santa Ana Lane yet, or Osborne Bulls. We had Arcadia Queen win last week, so here it is. I mean, it's a very open spread at the top.
You'd be happy with any of the top half dozen. Just on Redzel, so...
Feature of the day, this is Group 1. At weight for age, the Colgate Optic White Stakes, 1,600 metres. And our mounting out brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence.
Yeah, stays at a mile, but finally finds a softer track. So I think that offsets that, and he should be hard to beat, I thought.
Yeah, having elegant, but I just think
the tab as well. Dreamforce has been the big firmer. With tab.com.au, it's continued to firm. It's into 440 now from a 460 opening price. We actually continued to firm. It's into 440 now from a 460 opening price. We actually went up $11 when final field first opened. $11, and they were straight onto it. Dreamforce clearly best backed in the Colgate Optic White Stakes.
The gates are back, they're off and racing, and Dreamforce jump well. Avilius will go right back to last, and Samet out showing great speed is going to lead comfortably. Dreamforce doesn't want it. Happy Clapper goes forward. He's going to sit in third, followed by Angel of Truth. Then came Very Elegant, racing keen as usual. Further back to Dance, then Young Star, Mr. Marathon Man, and the favourite Avilius is last, but about 7 lengths off the lead. It's Samet out in front. Clark really tries to steady the speed. Out by a length and a half to Dreamforce is happy to sit in second, followed then by going into third position now Very Elegant, way too keen again, pulled away to third in front of Angel of Truth. Then came Happy Clapper. Mr. Marathon Man is deeper out from Young Star. Then came Dance, and Avilius last, moving into a 3-wide position. They're tightly bunched now, going to the 800 metres, and Samet Out's had an easy lead from Dreamforce. Then the keen going Very Elegant, followed by Angel of Truth. Happy Clapper fifth, a length further back to Mr. Marathon Man. Avilius is next from Young Star. Dance, drop the bridle there. Samet Out leads at the 500 metres from Dreamforce. Then came Very Elegant, pulling out Mr. Marathon Man. Happy Clapper needs a better room now. Avilius getting to the outside. 350 out, Samet Out. Dreamforce rolled up on the outside. Dreamforce travels, takes the lead from Samet Out. Now Avilius starting to cut loose. He's coming with a big run. Dreamforce in front, but here comes the big A. Avilius moved up, takes the lead and starts to draw away. It's Avilius going on for a big win from Dreamforce, and third goes to Happy Clapper. Then came Very Elegant from Angel of Truth. Samet Out drifted out of it. Further back to Mr. Marathon Man, Young Star, and Dance was last in.
It was his time to stand up today. Avilius has run past Dreamforce, who in turn had run past Samar Doubt. His winning streak is over, and Avilius goes on to score a convincing win. There's going to be 2 lengths the winning margin on Dreamforce. A wonderful Epsom trial, and a photo for third. We'll just wait.
I just felt that the track was a little bit too hard for him last time out.
Yeah, it was, and we didn't have a great run in transit either. Bernie last time, and today a bit smaller field. We just sort of said, right, we'll take the medicine early, and didn't go all that quick, so I must admit I was a little bit worried. I was able to get a bit of a trail up on the back of Zara, and he showed a good turn of foot. He likes that ground, and he can still quicken that ground. So, you know, he's done it a mile here today. Full credit to the team. And
yeah, and it was a ripping performance from the horse, and I think very impressive. It's an interesting feeling, you know, picking up a Group 1 when you feel like you're really only along the way for the horse's campaign. He's third up today, and he had to be at a certain level, I think, to be putting horses like Dreamforce away. And it was good to see. It was really good to see from our perspective a little bit of rain around this week for this horse. It was even better to see.
Is he a Cox Plate horse?
Look, that was a Cox Plate effort today, and
he announced that he was back, and back with a bang.
Yes, he was. This was a much better race for him, as everyone forecasted. His soft form speaks for itself, and the 2 races he's been in, let's just face it, it just hasn't suited him. But he's on target now. Probably a Cox Plate, I'd say. He'd be right up his alley, and especially if he gets a bit of jar out of the track here. Dreamforce is absolutely flying. He's really going well at the moment. He just hit that flat spot, Happy, didn't he? Happy Clapper?
He did, yeah. I still think he's just got that one... look, I don't think he's... Obviously, because of his age and because he's had a bit of a history of a few problems, I don't think he's come back as good as he did last preparation. I'd be happy to say that. But I still think that there's improvement in him to get him to his peak. So I don't think that's the best you're going to...
We mentioned then he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Natural Willer, Dreamforce.
Yeah, he didn't let me down one bit. He went super, ran right up to his run the other day. Whether the first up took a little bit out of him, I'm not too sure. But look, he sort of went to the front of the furlong light, the winner. But... you know, full credit to the winner. It just put me to the sword.
Glenn Boss, Happy Clapper.
Yeah, he went great, but the winner was just different level. That's one serious racehorse, the winner. Obviously, the run first up on suitable ground, that winner was exceptional. But my bloke, to his credit, never runs a bad race here, so he's still got a good one in, for sure.
Which Shark is favourite for the Epsom, and we won't see him until the Epsom. That's in 2 weeks' time. Dreamforce we've spoken about. We'll get to Colding later. Rock, we'll get to it later too, and the Cameron. Happy Clapper gained horses. And there's the second page of that Epsom. A couple of great lightweight chances.
Yeah, it's a really good Epsom. You go down that first page.
1,600 metres, and we just felt like the planets finally aligned for Avilius yesterday. Track that was originally a soft 7, upgraded to a soft 6 for the final 3 races of the day. Certainly wasn't going to suit Samad, did Avilius.
Yeah, look, great to see him back, and what a great performance, well, superb performance it was from Avilius, who posted some of that, well, I think, what was it, the 5th best final 200 according to Daily Sectionals in this performance. I don't think he's been anywhere, Corey, but he's probably just had patterns against and just sort of prep runs for him. But he signalled his return there yesterday.
Kieran rides this horse really, really well. He, I rode him in the Australia.
What though, when I go back and I was just thinking about him, because he's had patterns and pace against him a couple of times, it makes you realise how good the Great Mare Winx was. It didn't matter what the tracks were and
she'd overcome everything.
She'd overcome everything, and he's top class. But he does need a few things to go his way. But
sections of the entire meeting, and that was with some handy sprinters around. So he's a class act, and third up he should be ready to go. Certainly be a worthy winner this year with the lineup that they have attracted. And we know Steel Prince, as mentioned earlier, when he won the Andrew Ramsden, of course, he's qualified for the Melbourne Cup. Well, can he add the Caulfield Cup to that list as well? I suppose opened, and nothing much has changed in that respect. It should be an exciting contest from that perspective.
Last year, Night's Watch was a dominant favourite.
Cup, it kicks off the quaddie here at Caulfield. We'll get to Tony's thoughts in the quaddie at Caulfield in just a moment, but very open race here, Tone. Super Titus the favourite.
Super Titus favourite. Foundation Cup. 2,000 metres at Group 3, and away they go. Nerf Boss towards the outside, snags back with Steel Prince. Super Titus began cleanly with Sikandra Bad, the 2 favourites right up there. Wolf in between them, Volkstock and Barrel 4 deep. So you win behind the speed from Etymology. Out wider, Lord Fandango's trying to find a position from Brimham Rocks. 2 further back is Nerf Boss. Then Gallic Chieftain and Steel Prince is at the end past the mile. Sikandra Bad took up the lead from Volkstock and Barrel. Super Titus will box seat. Lord Fandango Chieftain, a gap to Steel Prince and Nerf Bosk. So the leader at halfway, Sikandra Bad, slows it up from Volkstock and Barrel. They were followed by Lord Fandango 3 deep. Super Titus next the inside, and Wolf is pulling. Further back is Brimham Rocks, who's 6th out 3 deep. So you in the fence from Gallic Chieftain. Next Etymology past the half mile from Steel Prince and Nerf Bosk. Sikandra Bad being pushed by Volkstock and Barrel past the 700 metres. Lord Fandango wider. Super Titus behind them from Wolf as they quicken up. Next Brimham Rock stoked along from So You Win. Next in the field around the outside, Etymology from Gallic Chieftain, Nerf Bosk, and also Steel Prince tightly packed at the 400. Sikandra Bad quickens up and leads Volkstock and Barrel. Brimham Rocks to the outside. Lord Fandango regressing. Super Titus needs a run, and So You Win back along the inside. Sikandra Bad at the 200 claimed by Brimham Rocks. Brimham Rocks takes the lead. So You Win back to the the inside. 100 to go. Walker goes for home, and Brimham Rocks is home. Brimham Rocks coming clear. Will win the Foundation Cup. I think that a quarter. So you win. Third to Candrabat. Fourth a photo. Gallic Chieftain Wolf, and then Steel Prince doing a bit late. Lovely. Then Super Titus. Next Gallic Chieftain, Etymology, Nerve Boss, and then Volk Stock and Barrel. And at the end of the field, Lord Fandango.
He wins his first race in Australia. He hadn't won for 700 days when he arrived here after winning as a 3-year-old in Europe when he won in York back in October 2017. Michael Walker, Chris Waller's having some sort of day, a double at Randwick, a win at Eagle Farm and a double at Caulfield as the master trainer continues to build.
100 of the Herbert Power last year, but had not won in Australia since setting foot here. 16 starts without a win, but it was a really impressive performance for Michael Walker.
Yeah, I thought he got into a nice spot, and look, it was an interesting race because on paper there didn't seem to be too much, well, there didn't seem any pace, and then all of a sudden Secunderabad led up. I'm not sure that suited that horse. We'll talk about Super Titus in a minute, but there was a pre-race incident with that galloper. Ultimately, the winner was pretty good, and I don't know, I just think there were excuses for a few in this race.
It's a muddling run race. The horse I really want to talk about, Steel Prince, like his run was absolutely super. There was talk of him going forward. Obviously, the stewards were advised that he was going to go forward in the race, but he was slow away, didn't muster speed at all, and ended up back last. But he hit the line like a genius.
Steel Prince was able to run this
like a genius.
Steel Prince was able to run the 6th fastest last 200 of the day. So his preparation around a Melbourne Cup tilt is coming together very, very nicely.
Yeah, look,
passage into the Caulfield Cup holds a Metrop nomination as well, but is just simply you've just got to go to the Caulfield Cup, particularly on the basis of what we saw in that run.
I think its form at Caulfield is first class. I mean, as you touched on earlier, it ran second behind Yucatan in the Herbert Power last year, and it's come and won impressively yesterday. So I did bump into Michael Byrne, the former chairman of the VRC, on Friday, and Michael's got a share in Brimham Rocks, and they were quite confident that the horse had turned the corner, and its last run in the Chelmsford wasn't that bad. So Chris was obviously keen to get the horse to Melbourne, get it back to Caulfield, and I think you'll see it progress on towards the Caulfield Cup.
Yeah, according to the
another piece of the Cup's puzzle comes together. Let's have a look at the market for the Caulfield Cup. Mr. Quickie still sitting there atop the market after its impressive run recently. Is Brimham Rocks of the quality, given the weight it's been given?
Back in 2010 with a similar form profile, and also with Craig Williams in the saddle. Willow's looking for 6 in the race to join Damien Oliver as the #1 all-time in the Sir Rupert Clark. Into the mounting yard we go. Be Good to Your Mother, the son of my boy Charlie, is the favourite for the Sir Rupert Clark Stakes. Group 1 running, 69th running of this race. Dan Bowman trying to win his first ever Group 1 and teaming up with Irish jockey
Amphitrite on top. I'm a huge fan of Be Good.
As low as $2.80, back out to $3 now, but still the best back runner in the race. But certainly they've looked at a few away from it in the last sort of half an hour. Sosie Bond's at $7.50. There's been money for number 9 Deprive down to $10. Age of Chivalry out to 13. Then you got Iconoclasm at 50.
Racing at the 1400 metres, a beautiful line. Age of Chivalry away cleanly with on the outside. Be Good to Your Mother. They're going to match motors in the early stages. Streets of Avalon not too far away with Dispatch. Cliff's Edge is wide and 5th. Be Good to Your Mother wants the lead after 250. Will lead Dispatch. Age of Chivalry box seats. There's Iconoclasm forcing up on the outside and is going to make it a race after 400 metres. On the first turn, Iconoclasm's going to speed to the lead. Be Good to Your Mother box seats. Dispatch. 2 further back, Age of Chivalry, followed by Streets of Avalon and Cliff's Edge. A gap to Sosie Bond, Madison County. Next is Best of Days, Blackheart Bart from Widgie Turf, Amphitrite third last. They were followed by second last Deprive, and at the end Fastnet Tempest. Iconoclasm at the 600 metres has run it pretty hard. A length and a half, Be Good to Your Mother. Dispatch third from Age of Chivalry. Then Streets of Avalon, Cliff's Edge, Sosie Bond. Next Madison County. Best of Day stoked along from Widgie Turf and Amphitrite. Iconoclasm joined and headed by Be Good to Your Mother. Into the straight at the 300. Be Good to Your Mother. 2 lengths, Age of Chivalry. Followed by Dispatch. Sosie Bond down the outside from Cliff's Edge. Be Good to Your Mother at the 200 metres. A length and a half, Age of Chivalry. Cliff's Edge, Widgie Turf, Sosie Bond. Be Good to Your Mother. Still going well at the 100. Leads a length and a half. There's a big party at the bull tonight. Be Good to Your Mother from Age of Chivalry. Widgie Turf third. 4th Street Shades of Avalon from Sosie Bon. Next to finish, Deprive, followed by Best of Days, Madison County, Cliff's Edge, Dispatch, Blackheart, Bard Amphitrite, Iconoclasm, and Fastnet Tempest at the end.
A fairy tale, a wonderful win. Think about Declan Bates, the Irish-born and Irish-raised jockey who's worked so hard in recent months to get his weight down. He rode at 52 kilos today, and he's a tall boy. That's an achievement. And for Daniel Bowman, he wins his first Group 1, the pride of Royal, and it couldn't happen to a better bloke. Age of Chivalry runs second, Widgie Turf to...
Congratulations, mate. Oh, thanks, Chris. It's actually 4 years to the day that me and my wife moved to Australia. So I was hoping that would be a good omen, and yeah, it sure was. Look, obviously just...
As a Group 1 winning trainer, mate, you've dreamt about this for a long, long time. You deserve it. Well done.
Thank you. I won't get sick of hearing that.
Take us through the race through your mind when Iconoclasm put a bit of speed into the race and Declan took a sit.
It was perfect. You could just see the horse was just getting keen, and then when Linda come across, the horse just went like that, went to sleep, and good tempo, took the back markers out of it, and just used our weight and the advantage, and yeah, he was too strong.
You've always had confidence in this horse?
Yeah, since Sandown, he put the writing on the wall that he was the type of horse that fitted the profile for this race.
It feels like the whole of Warrnambool's here, mate.
You know, just about half of Warrnambool, half a stall. They're all here and they're about to get wet, so we better get inside and celebrate.
We won't feel the rain, mate. What about the name of this horse? Be Good to Your Mother. Tell our audience why.
Just the joke. Someone asked for a tip, you say be good to your mother. So I always used to say to me brother, and he said, why don't you name...
A little bit keen, be good to your mother, but Corey, at this stage, Linda Meach was wide on Iconoclasm. She went forward, and that worked out just dreamy for Connections. Be good to your mother.
Absolutely made the race for Be Good to Your Mother. Got the settling behind the speed with a little bit of cover, and probably take a little bit of that wind away from him. But again, full credit to Declan getting down to that weight. It's a big effort. People don't realise he's probably riding 4 kilos below his normal riding weight. And
200 metres, a length and a half, Age of Chivalry, Cliff's Edge, Widgie Turf, Sosie Bon. Be Good to Your Mother, still going well at the 100, leads a length and a half. There's a big party at the bull tonight. Be Good to Your Mother from Age of Chivalry, Widgie Turf.
So breaks 122, which only 4 horses in this race have done since 2000. Testarossa, Exceeding Excel, which you rode in 2003. Corey, on effectively a coffee table track to set the current track record over the distance, and also Turak Toff, which did it on a firm too. So it underscores the quality of the performance, Simo, to run that time on the track we had yesterday.
Phenomenal time in the circumstances. You know, the jockeys that were being interviewed throughout the course of the day were saying that it was on the softer side of a good 4, closer to a 5. So to run, you know, less than 1:21 for the 1400 metres, that's electric time, given the circumstances.
And the lighter weights, you know, Be Good to Your Mother, and you know, I just think with that sort of weight, getting that sort of run up front, they're just too hard to run down.
Well, he reminds me a lot of a horse like Regal Roller, who used to fly around Caulfield, 1400 metres. They've got that good tactical early speed, but they can just keep on running. And it's very hard for horses that are 5 and 6 lengths off them to make up the required ground to be competitive. So this horse over 1400 metres at Caulfield, his record is just fantastic. It
was a brilliantly executed plan.
Over 1400 metres to C4 Stakes and the like in February next year. So it sounds like a very, very interesting
plan. Did you enjoy the
Connections.
celebration from...
And the family affair continues. Danita Bowman, Dan's wife, so heavily involved in the training of the horse as well. This is the footage of her watching the Rupert Clark unfold from the mounting yard, and you can just see the raw emotion, the tension at this point as Be Good to Your Mother hits to the front. And Grace, as we said, you were above the mounting yard watching the race, and this is just such spectacular vision of so much hard work going into a minute and 22 of glory.
Oh, absolutely. And as we can see, Danita there doing her best to get the horse over the line. Danita, of course, is Dan's wife, and she plays an integral part in his training operation. I was actually able to catch up with both of them in Warrnambool last week, and in the interview, Dan basically said it might say Daniel Bowman Racing, but this is a partnership more than anything else. So you can see just the pure elation and just the, I guess, joy when the plan has come off and they can finally relax and be relieved and know that the horse that they've got has been able to do the job they've set it to do, which...
They've come for him. Clearly the liability on the books on Sportsbet. Legionnaire next best. He's holding solid around that $4 mark. Vegas Night has had a good shift in, $6.50 into $4.60. The roughie.
The year before, Haydock, Sovereign Nation, the recent winners of the Stud Stakes will we see a new contender for the Caulfield
to win the Derby. And they're racing at the 1600 metres. Power Scheme jumped away well, but not as fast as Legionnaire out past the centre. The Holy One is probing up in barrier number 1 as well, and they were followed by Conqueror, Serengeti. Vegas Knight is wide and back, and Hinchpin is back with him. Heading towards the first turn, 1300 metres to go. It's Legionnaire just fighting the jock at the moment on the outside of the Holy One, who holds Legionnaire. Would spot the speed about 5 at least. So it's the Holy One. Tries to get into a rhythm mid-race and led by a length and a quarter, Legionnaire. Vegas Knight out wider. Power Scheme fourth, the fence every chance, and they were followed by Conqueror. Hinchpin 3 wide with a trail now, and Serengeti is at the end of the 7. At the school, 600 metres to go. It's the Holy One. He's dictated, and now he pings for home about 2 lengths. Legionnaire, Vegas Knight as they quicken considerably. Hinchpin the outside, roused up from Power Scheme. Conqueror shuffle back to second last, and Serengeti is at the end of the field. But up towards the turn, it's Hinchpin. That's the Holy One, rather, 3 lengths in front of Legionnaire, and they were followed by to the outside Vegas Knight, still trying to run on from Hinchpin. Conqueror, the Holy One with 150 metres to go, still 2.5 Legionnaire, Vegas Knight, Conqueror, the Holy One, can it last? It needs the line, but it will get there. The Holy One from Vegas Knight, Conqueror, for the photo between Legionnaire and also Serengeti, followed by Hinchpin, and at the end of the field was Power Scheme.
Oh, there's a night to remember for the Bussett and Young team. The Holy One with Brett Preble, daring tactics. 500 metres out, said I'm off and gone. If you're good enough to chase me and catch me, you can have the win. Vegas Knight, Conqueror and Legionnaire weren't good enough to get there. They got close.
Over 2,400 in a Group 1 in Sydney. She resumes. She's got good fresh form. $10 into 9. Tides was terrific, winning last start. Too big, the punters said, at $17.
3-year-old, she probably was a touch on the weak side. She had a big frame and really needed to fill it out and strengthen.
These two, Miss Siska and Princess Jenny. I had Miss Siska on top all week, and then I changed yesterday and went with Miss Princess Jenny on top.
Gillen racing at the mile. Silent Roar anticipated the start and jumped away quickly with Miss Siska, and Consensus out deeper is pushing up as well. Spanish Reef is going to settle behind those with Shrouded in Mist, then Something Silver Tides. Princess Jenny at the back of the field, and Ocean X is last. Miss Siska is the front runner, heading the end, 950 out. Miss Siska slows it up from Silent Roar, a length. Consensus wide the trip. Shrouded in Mist fourth, the inside of Rondinella, a length Something Silver, followed by Princess Jenny. The inside Spanish Reef from Tides, about 6 off the lead, and a length and a half to Ocean X to the side of the course. Miss Siska just in front of Silent Roar at the 600 metres. Consensus will sleep well tonight, a length and a quarter away Rondinella, then Shrouded in Mist, and further back is Something Silver. Tides is getting going out 4 deep. Princess Jenny in traffic, followed by Spanish Reef under pressure from Ocean X. It's Miss Siska stacks them up at the 400, just in front of Silent Roar. Something Silver around the outside, and Consensus 4 across the track. Behind those Tides, Princess Jenny runs into it from Rondinella, Shrouded in Mist. It's Miss Siska in the straight. Consensus has been a tough run. Something Silver, Princess Jenny down the outside. Ocean X and Rondinella is driving through. It's a fantastic finish, but Princess Jenny sprouts wings, and Princess Jenny has won it. From a photo, Rondinella or Ocean X, then Spanish Reef. Consensus was tough. Then Something Silver, tiring Miss Siska. Behind them, Shrouded in Mist, Silent Roar, and Tides has finished at the end of the field.
Well, 500 metres out, there was 2 mares that were travelling big time. Could they get out? Nashra Willer was on Rondinella, and Damien Oliver was on Princess Jenny. They had a wall of horses in front of them. Ollie went right, Nash went left. They went 1-2. Big win to Princess Jenny. Picks herself off the canvas and gets...
Is she? Loving Gabby's first up. She's quite solid down the bottom there. Villamai's the one that they've come for, though. This filly led up Libertini last start from the Gerald Rowan stable. Good to see Tim Clark here. We opened up at $5.50, bada bing, bada bang, into $3.70, holding at the $3.90 now. Villamai.
I think Charlize is a huge danger at a good price. I've always liked her since her debut behind microphone. I think the first...
Front, the fillies are ready, and away they go. And a beautiful line as well. Towards the outside, Villamai shows toe with Vincere Valare and also Backpedal. Vincere Valare led, followed by Backpedal and Villamai. Evening Slippers behind those, fourth from Niedorp and Charlize, 6-3 deep. Absolute Flirt the outside of Accelerates, and behind those Loving Gabby, 2/3 down the field, out deeper on the track. They were followed by Don't Tell the Boss, Lankan Star, 2 lengths, a 10, and at the end of the field is Ready Set Set Sail. Vincere Valare as they reach the 700. Just tries to slow it off a shade from back pedal. Villamai 3 deep. Evening Slippers the inner. Then Needorp and Charlize from Accelerates. And behind those Absolute Flirt from Loving Gabby. 5 off the lead. Will be 4, 5, 6 wide on the final turn. From Don't Tell the Boss, Lankan Star at 10. And Ready Set Sail. Back pedal moves up to Vincere Valare. Villamai 3 deep. Needorp stoked along. Accelerates off the fence about 4 and 5 deep. Trying to shoulder clear. And Loving Gabby down the crown of the track. It's back pedal on the outside of Vincere Valare. But here's Loving Gabby and Accelerates coming together. Loving Gabby moves up to Villamai. Accelerates. Gabby's got it. Loving Gabby accelerates. Villamai fourth. Don't Tell the Boss. Followed by a 10. Behind those Charlize and back pedal got tied from Lankan Star and Absolute Flirt. Next to finish in the race, Vincere Valare got tied. Needorp Ready Set Sail. Evening Slippers at the end.
Oh, you're back, girl, and you've taken your time to get back, but she's back in a big way. She was outstanding 2-year-old. She tackled all the major features as a 2-year-old. She was unlucky not to win them. She ran 4th in a Golden Slipper, 6th in a Blue Diamond. She was runner-up in a Sires and runner-up in a Champagne. We know she'll get a mile, and she presents first up and storms down the outside and whoosh over the top. Defeats Exhilarates, lost no admirers there. Villamai had a torrid run on speed. She runs 3rd. Don't Tell the Boss running 4th.
Great to have her back. High quality field here tonight, and we thought she was a little bit vulnerable. Just where she's at, she's a bit soft in her campaign and her preparation, so that'll bring her right up to speed. But
remember when you saw him before the Maccabi Diva.
And you do have to remember that he'd had 12 months off leading into that run too, so he's probably always going to benefit from it. He's tidied up really nicely in his coat.
Like the sort of form we found in the Herbert Power, he doesn't need to go to that level, but just a few lengths off it, I think he can win this race. The horse that they all have to beat on recent
formula, Kentucky Breeze, holding on as your favourite and quite clear too. $2.90 now, so strong support for Levi Kavanagh's runner. I'll tell you what, Jane, you'll pick it.
And they're racing. Captain Cook from the centre gate was probably the best to begin with Wall of Fire, Sully, Kentucky Breeze on the fence, Yucatan's up there and Midterm out wider. So they're sorting out their positions after about 200 metres. Kentucky Breeze keeps Captain Cook wide, Sully the middle, Yucatan is between them, and they were followed by Midterm on the first corner. Next Wall of Fire, top of the range, picking up some ground on that first turn. Mosh Music second last. At last, Captain Cook off the back section at the 900 metres, dictating speed by a length. Second is Midterm, Sully third, then Kentucky Breeze, top of the range, fifth the rails. A length Yucatan, Glory Days, second last Wall of Fire, and at the end of the field, Mosh Music to the side in the JRA Cup, 700 to go. Captain Cook every chance, a half Midterm, Sully peeling out 3 deep, Kentucky Breeze will come 4 deep. Yucatan now Satellite 5 deep from top of the range. Next Glory Days, Mosh Music's going to be the widest on the final turn, and then came Wall of Fire. They sprint, 400 to go. Captain Cook just in front of Sully, then Kentucky Breeze a length away from Yucatan. Mosh Music stoked up around them from top of the range in Midterm. Captain Cook at the 200 metres. Sully is peppering away the outside, then Kentucky Breeze and Mosh Music late. Captain Cook and Sully at the 100 metres. Stride for stride, Mosh Music flashing home. Sully, Captain Cook, it's a hit bobber! Photo! Captain Cook or Sully don't know. Mosh Music third. Photo fourth, Kentucky Breeze or Glory Days, then top of the range, a gap, Yucatan, Wall of Fire, Midterm last, and the judges required.
A photo finish, Captain Cook on the inside, Sully on the outside, Brett Preble for the line for Nat Young and Trent Buston, and they're looking for a treble. Oh, look at that, and the roar of the crowd. Oh, it's great to have Group 1 racing at the Valley. And the room to meet, and we have a look at the and it'll be the inside. I think Captain Cook will get it. Captain Cook will win, and he looked a little less portly, Jane Ivel, than what you'd expected in the last couple of starts.
Yeah, well, 4th run in this campaign.
I think the step up in distance was the real key for Captain Cook. Now, he had the back of Super Titus in the heavily. Loomed up.
The fastest horse ever around the 1,000 metres at Moonee Valley, Nature Strip. Race, the Moya. It is the ultimate speed test, and what we've seen early on tonight. I think people...
Nature Strip opened at $2.60, and your favourite with Sportsbet, he's out to $3.60 now, folks. The big question mark, can he begin well and break the gates and try and hold the fence and lead? So $3.60 Nature Strip is your favourite. You're getting a good price, or a better price than opening. Sunlight is $5.50 into $4.60. She gets across, sits on speed.
But super talented, Nature Strip.
Just got way too keen in the Concord first up when ridden for a sit, and it told at the finish, I think, him in terms of pure ability. If everything goes right, it is a massive if, though.
Jane, what about, can you help us with that if? How does he look?
Well, I'm going to say he looks incredible. In fact, wow, because he is a horse that's always been a really light-framed athletic sprinter. I actually cannot believe the development this horse has made. Look at his shoulder, his hind...
Concord, but she's 3 from 3 second up, and she did win the Newmarket second up last preparation. In the last run at the Valley, she was a Group 1 winner. My query is her best form has been when right on the speed. I doubt she can be right on the speed tonight, and her best form's here in Eduardo. I think he might get that soft run in behind a really fast speed. If he can improve off the first up race where he went into that run without a trial, I think he can give this a big shake with a bit of luck in running. Nature Strip, if everything goes right, he's the best horse in the race, but it is a big if.
$3.40, $3.30 into $3.20. The money coming late for your favourite Nature Strip. Especially after Jane Ivel's Manning Yard comments. He looked... Donald is the pilot on Nature Strip. Chris Waller won the last race, and the money has come for the big chestnut. Number 5, the market money mover for your Group 1 Moya.
Jamie 15. For Moya at Group 1, set to run. Ready. Stand by, signal. Gates are back and racing. Winter Bright, well misted by 2 or 3 lengths. Nature Strip away quite well. Assertive Approach out fast with Fartanar. Ball of Muscle is searing the grass. Miss Leonidas up there. Nature Strip got to 3rd. Eduardo 4th. Fartanar, Assertive Approach 4th and 5th. They were followed by Merrill and Sunlight from Tactical Advantage. The Bostonian Bonds away. Booker 2.5 lengths. Trekking Viridine 3 lengths. Winter Bright through the gap. Nature Strip drove through and led at the 600 from Miss Leonidas. A length. Ball of Muscle. Fartanar 4th in Eduardo. Assertive Approach. Sunlight 4 off the lead, and they were followed next by Merrill. Bonds away. The Bostonian Tactical Advantage. Viridine Trekking. Booker well back on the fence. Then Winter Bright. Nature Strip about a half length. Miss Leonidas on the point of the corner. Then Fartanar a length and a half away. Eduardo back to the fence. Nature Strip in front. It's Nature Strip from Miss Leonidas. Then came Eduardo. Fartanar. Nature Strip leads the line. It's gonna get there. Nature Strip has done it from Miss Leonidas. Photo 3rd. Sunlight or Fartanar, and they were followed by Merrill. Next to finish, Bonds away. Eduardo pulls up quickly. Viridine, the Bostonian Booker. Tactical Advantage. Then Trekking. Winter Bride well back in the field. Assertive Approach. And last, Ball of Muscle.
That's how you do it, big boy. Let him roll. And I'll tell you what, James McDonald, what a ride. He kicked up. He didn't overuse him. He got it into settle. To a degree, he just had one 200-metre sectional where he dropped the tempo out a touch, and he was too strong. Miss Leonidas has jumped out of her skin to run second. She's Group...
Nature Strip, outstandingly ridden there by James McDonald. He bounced well. He made sure that he used that inside barrier, Jane, to find the front and hold, not let Ball of Muscle cross him, but also not let him, not use him too much, not dig him and get him over racing.
That would be so satisfying to get it right tonight, and I mean absolutely centimetre perfect.
Yeah, mate, it's a massive thrill, but we've got to take no credit because that Chris Waller's a genius. He's taken the slightest gear change, and it's amazing how he can figure these horses out. And
for some reason, there's always a lot of aggro towards this horse from the punters, but he's a ripper.
No, he's a popular horse. And we seem to get more criticism with him than we ever got with another certain horse that was probably our last Group 1 winner here. So that's racing. Everybody's got their opinions, and he's a good horse, and he's ridden well. He's pretty tricky. Yeah, James and I both, and the owners, they've been very supportive. You think the punters get frustrated? Well, owning a horse and training a horse when you're running in these types of races, it's it's a bitter pill to take when you don't quite get it right. So I think a good reward to everybody, and I hope the punters had something on as well and got a bit back from last start when apparently I did everything wrong.
Well, you've mentioned...
There's a lot of horses to talk about here that may go to the Scalacci to try and get into the Everest via the MRC slot.
Yeah, look, it looked really ugly for him, barrier one, in a high-pressure race there, and but he, you can make a case, he'd had enough on the line here, that's him, 1,000 metres, and there's a lot of stats will back you up. But with the tempo of, the 1100s, the 1200s, if he has learnt to relax better from the front, he's a chance of running it. He's a good horse. I thought Sunlight was terrific there. She was really good. Tony's got her back on track, and he knows her like the back of his hand. He said he's not scared to run her. Bang, bang, she'll have another one.
She'll have another one. Get her back up next week.
Yeah, and
very shortly. But meanwhile, they're in the yard here for our next race, race number 4. And this is the Shannon.
Lovely, mature, relaxed horse these days, and I'm expecting him to come right into Epsom calculations after today, even though he already is. Dangerous, Contapatiro. She's not...
Saturday, and the gates open, they're off, and Gem Song with the first out of the gate. Contapatiro jump well. Tom Melbourne is slowly mustering on the rails. Avantage has been taken back. So Tom Melbourne's going through on the fence now to take the lead, and he's a touch keen from Contapatiro, and Gem Song eases back to third now, followed by Mr. Seawolf on the inside of Noir. So Tom Melbourne's got the lead all on his own at this point. Down the side of the course, out by 2 lengths now to the short favourite, Gem Song at the 600. Then Mr. Seawolf from Contapatiro, who's asked to go faster at this point. Volpe Veloce's pulling out. Abden close to heels. Noir is next, and Avantage not going well. Tom Melbourne swings in front by a length, still travels. Gem Song roused along on the outside, giving chase now, and Mr. Seawolf is closing off, hard pressed on the fence. It's Tom Melbourne, the outside Gem Song. Mr. Seawolf running a very cheeky race. Mr. Seawolf takes the inside run and charges to the lead now, and Mr. Seawolf's coming away in the Shannon, 1 at a length to Gem Song. Tom Melbourne third, Noir flashing at the end, then Contapatiro, followed by Abden. Avantage not having a happy Sydney campaign, always well back, and Volpe Veloce as well.
Right up the inside, pick of the yard from Lizzie, 940 and 240. Mr. Seawolf. Epsom, he got this win over the well-backed favourite Gem Song and Tom.
Yeah, and I think he's come back really well, and he just showed another string there with racing a little bit closer from good draws, and he looked great. Lizzie found him yesterday. It was a good get.
950.
Yeah, really good get. And Chris says he won't back him up next week, or he doesn't think he will, because he doesn't think he backs up. He seems to think he needs 3 or 4 weeks between runs. So that's the situation with him. Gem Song probably ridden a little. They had to ride him close to give him a winning chance yesterday, but I just don't think it suited him with that sprint home. He went good, and he'll still run well next week.
Well, Tiako Shark is James McDonald. Dreamforce is Nash. You've got Rock is ridden by Kerem McAvoy. Colding is obviously Glenn Boss. Cascadian, obviously they're waiting on a run. Gemson, Brenton Abdallah. Star of the Seas, I think Jay Ford's name was being thrown around.
Enticing Star is ready to start her Sydney campaign. Bob Peters would be watching in from Perth today.
Our system, it followed what Peace recommends and seems to work well with the first one, so hopefully it works well with this one as well. It does everything with it. We're mindful.
On race number 3 at Longreach. 5th event from Rosehill, Tab Golden Pendant from On Track. Another check there, 235 now to 245, Enticing Star. Further support for Champagne Cuddles, 440 out to 5 into 440. Mizzy, 6650 into 48.
Group 2, go.
And they're off and racing now, and Enticing Star was the last out of the gates. Mizzy first out, showing good muster to go through and lead, with Fundamentalist quickly improving to second, followed by Dyslexic on the inside of Champagne Cuddles, then Invincibella, Pretty in Pink, and Enticing Star will settle last, and a clear last at that. Now Invincibella the outside, and 2 off to Enticing Star, who's 6 off the lead. They've got 750 to run, and Mizzy looking to make it 3 in a row today, and neck the margin 2 Fundamentalist. 2 lengths further back to Dyslexic with a good run on the inside of Champagne Cuddles. Then came Invincibella from Pretty in Pink. going. And McDonald's easing out now, and Enticing Star trying to rouse her along as they come around the corner. And it's Mizzy and Fundamentalist stride for stride. Dyslexic into the clear. No hard luck stories today. Champagne Cuddles travels the outside. Now Enticing Star is 3 off them. Shown the stick, and she's starting to wind up, but Mizzy's got a good kick at the furlong. Mizzy beat off Champagne Cuddles, then Dyslexic. Enticing Star's not in the hunt, but Mizzy's going great guns, and Mizzy makes it 3 in a row. Won it by 2 lengths to Champagne Cuddles. Dyslexic third, Invincibella got going into fourth, followed then by Pretty in Pink, Fundamentalist, and Enticing Star could not pick up.
No Enticing Star today at all, but Mizzy keeps on winning. She has now won the Group 3 Toy Show, the Group 2 Scirocco and the Group 2 Golden Pendant. Does a Group 1 beckon? 550 and 260. Flop of Enticing Star, but all honours to Mizzy, who just keeps on winning. She's unbeaten this prep and adds another Group 2 to the list.
What a ripper mare she is. You know, like she'd had a last prep. She'd had a very poor winning strike rate. You know, she'd only won 1 race, I think, from about 12 races. But this time in, she's really turned the corner.
She'd been in some tough races.
Yeah, she was just behind him in a Coolmore, and you know it was easy to say, "Oh, her confidence would be shot," but boy, her confidence is sky high now. And when you've got a mare that can rip home in 33.59 like she did there, fastest of the day.
And put herself in the race.
That goes back to the theory we were just talking about. Small fields, no pressure. Let's talk about the favourite. You'd have to say, considering the profile and what, a little bit disappointing, but had no hope the way that race was run. But she didn't help herself either. She was floating out there, or she was on one rein down the straight. He was soft on her the last 50 metres. You could make a case if she's absolutely sacked off that run by the punters. I'd inclined to want to give her another chance, considering
into the Everest to see if they're back on track. But then Nature Strip comes into the picture now because it's the Wallace slot.
It's all to do with the deal that you've done as well. There's got to be a clause in there to say, look, if I'm not happy, I'm inclined to jump ship.
Well, Bockies went from $15 in the Everest to now $51 in the Everest.
Well, that's a big reaction.
Yeah.
But
he step it up to 1,800 for the 3-year-olds in the Antler Gloaming Stakes at Group 3, and this mounting out is brought.
Dulcify from the front, and he has quality and with a softer lead again.
Shadow Hero number 2, Josh Parr and Mark Newnham.
This was an enormous run in the Dulcify considering the circumstances first up. He's a very, very strong horse. He'll eat up 1,800 second up here, and he'll even get better to not be with here. I thought his first up run was amazing. He did good things in Brisbane over the winter, and I think they're working with a pretty good stayer here. I think just thinking with all the favours.
Going towards the spring, of course, and yeah, it's a bit of a sought-out race. We'll find out how good some of these are. Just thinking.
And the gates are back now, and they're off and racing. And Just Thinking, as usual, jumped away really well, centre stalls. Lucky Imperator quickly into stride, and Rhaegar's pretty handy. Kicking up underneath, Just Thinking early. Wide out, way back winners pushing forward. Then Shining Eagle on the rails from Quick Think. A Shadow Hero pretty prominent. On the inside of Fasano. A gap of 3 further back to Subadar. Then came War Baron from Sir Mays and Pern by Persan, and Sir Mays about a dozen lengths off the lead. Rhaegar going along in the front here. Out by 2 lengths on Just Thinking. Shining Eagle up on the inside. Third from Lucky Imperator, caught 3 wide. Then way back when Quick Thinker back on the fence. 2 further back to Fasano on the outside of Shadow Hero. Persan back in the field trying to start a run together with War Baron. Subadar's in a tricky spot, and Sir Mays is last of all. Racing to the turn of the 500 metres, and Rhaegar 2 lengths clear from Just Thinking. Shining Eagle way back when. Shadow Heroes threading its way into the clear. 6 off the lead into the straight. Rhaegar coming back to Just Thinking. 300 out. Just Thinking takes the lead from Rhaegar, but here's Shadow Hero putting in big strides to the outside, and Shadow Hero went past Just Thinking. Subadar running on. on, and then came a Quick Thinker, but it's Shadow Hero coming right away with a gloaming stake. Sat back in the field, hands and heels by Par, and there's your Victoria Derby favourite, Shadow Hero by 3. Superdar second, Photo third, Just Thinking and Quick Thinker, a real favourites race. Then came Pursan, followed by Sir Mays. Further back to Ray Gar, who certainly made it interesting in the lead from Shining Eagle, Fasano, all the roughies finishing where they were expected to. War Baron, Lucky Imperator, and Way Back When.
Well, he's just in a class of his own. A complete different class. The best staying 3-year-old in the country.
Staying 3-year-old. He is just ticking along. He's not even peaked up yet. He's got the Champion Stakes. He's got the Derby. Wonder what he'll do after the Derby.
Hero. And he's back. And if you didn't walk away excited about the prospects of Shadow Hero yesterday, something wrong.
Yeah, he was very good in Brisbane, wasn't he? And he always looked a horse that's going to be better in spring and even probably next autumn as well. I know everything went absolutely perfect for him here. He got his speed, he got a beautiful ride, but still, he destroyed them. He destroyed them. He's a very good stayer in the making. I think we all know that now. Superdar's been good all the way through. Quick Thinker was okay, but no match. But he can improve again, Quick Thinker, I would have thought.
But so can the winner.
Hey?
So can the winner.
Yeah, I know. How good is he? But that's reflected in the market now. Everyone's aware of it. He's, you know, when you're talking, how far are they from the VRC Victoria Derby? And he's 6 to 4, $2.50.
Yeah.
A lot of things can go wrong with horses, you know.
If he wins the Spring Champion as is impressively, he'd be odds on.
Incredible.
So what are you saying?
You go back to the Dulcify when they changed tack with Castelvecchio and Josh was horrified and he tried to get off Shadow Hero. Mark wouldn't let him off. It could be a moment in his career that just finds him multiple Group 1s.
Might be a few things to thank Mark. Hey, race 7, the De Bortley Wines Golden Rose over 1,400 metres for 3-year-olds worth $1 million at Group 1 level. And our mounting yard is brought to you.
He has to come back in distance here, but that's a proven winning formula.
And if things work out for him, he's certainly going to run very well.
Number 2, Bivouac, is the favourite. James Cummings is the trainer. Hugh Bowman, the most successful jockey in Golden Rose history with 4 wins, rides Bivouac.
Yeah, could well be 5 after today. He's been brilliant, winning 2 of 3 this preparation at 1,100, at 1,200. Just has to stretch that out to 1,400 metres here, although...
Or is yes. Natural Willer on board today for Chris Waller.
Yeah, we all know he was 1 run behind the favourites first up there, and I thought he was very, very good. He can only improve here, and a lovely draw, and he's a brilliant colt who captured everyone's attention there first up on the wet track. Not his style of race last time. A little bit of a sticky draw for him here today, and he needs, you know, a few little run of the race things to go his favour, but the track's playing okay across the board. He's unfold for him in the run, and they just pour that little bit of pressure on early just to help that finishing sprint that we know that he has. I'm very wary of these 2 Chris Waller colts taking great benefit out of their first up run in the run to the Rose, and that's Kubrick, number 6. He's
Yes, Brass. It is the only one that they're touching. $6 now to $4.40.
OK, well, beaten by Bivouac last time out. He did defeat Exceedance.
Out to 260, or that's the equal best we've offered all day. Yes. Into 440 now. On the NOP, it's 420. Yes. Exceedance at 4. And Castelvecchio now double figures. But yes. Heavy go late here.
Bivouac goes in. Prince Farwas Group.
Gates are back and they're off, and Bivouac flew out. Bivouac leads early, but Yaudash shows good muster. And yes is right under the heels there of Yaudash. Has to do a bit of work to push on. Kubrick jumped well, settles in 4th position on the rails. Castelvecchio's pretty close. Has 3 runners behind him early. Prince for Was, then came Exceedance. And Berry's gone down to the fence. And Dawn Passage taken back to last. So Yaudash leads the way at the 1,000 metres. And Bivouac camps in 2nd position. Kubrick on the improved going to 3rd, and yes. 1 out, 1 back. 2 further back to Exceedance, improving on the inside at Castelvecchio, and Prince for Was the outside. Dawn Passage last of all, but only 5 lengths off the lead. Yaudash held together down the side by 3/4 to Bivouac. Kubrick in a great position, 3rd. Then came yes. Prince for Was doing work in the run around Castelvecchio, boxed up between runners. Exceedance the fence, and Dawn Passage is last of all. 500 metres to run, and Yaudash is asked to sprint quicker. Bivouac Bivouac still on the bridle in second. Yes, 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 pulling out a length clear from Kubrick, and Exceedance is coming off heels. It's Bivouac being joined by Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes on the outside of Bivouac, 2 further back to Exceedance. It's Yes, 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 laying it down to Bivouac. Great finish. Yes, yes, yes. Bivouac comes back. Bivouac fights on, and Bivouac wins the Golden Rose. Another one for Godolphin. He just edged out Yes, yes, yes. Then came Exceedance from Yaldash. Further back to Kubrick, Castelvecchio, Dawn Passage, and Prince for Was last.
A stylish 3-year-old, a tough 3-year-old. Bivouac wins the Golden Rose and gives Hugh Bowman an amazing 5th win in the race. And the Darley Godolphin streak in this race continues.
Wow. Yes, you don't see Nashville really loom up, eyeball a horse and then get beat on one, but that winner showed extreme heart and class and quality to get the job done, fighting off Yes, yes, yes. Exceedance loomed there at one stage, and he's run another.
It's been an emotional couple of weeks, I can tell you, and a bit more emotional now, but look, he's a lovely colt. And his win at Caulfield first up put the writing on the wall, and things didn't go our way second up back here at Rose Hill, but blinkers off, and the way Josh handled him last start, and just the way he's progressed and developed as the prep's gone on. It's a credit to James. Group 1 winning colt now, and he's still got plenty more in store, I can assure you.
So do you. You've made this race your own.
Just alongside his famous grandfather, Bart, and one of the first people to come up and congratulate you, James, was the runner-up, Tom Magnier from Coolmore with Yes, yes, yes. Well, first of all, this colt, what did you think of that performance when he fought back and showed what he's made of?
Gosh, you know, I couldn't help but think that he had no right running 1400 today, but on account of the preparation that he'd had and, you know, just the culmination of so much effort from this unit to get behind this horse and to give him this build-up that he's had, it was just perfection the past 6 weeks. And
what Bivouac possesses is that ability to sit up on the speed, and that is certainly something that's very vital in those types of races. But we've seen that whole Golden Rose, out of all of those horses in that race, I wouldn't be scared to follow them in different races going into the future.
Let's go to the Golden Rose. He trounced them in the Vane, then was beaten by Exceedance in the San Domenico, then trounced them again in the Run to the Rose, and here he was fighting off Yes, yes, yes in the Golden Rose, Group 1.
Yeah, well, what can you say? Look, he relaxed beautifully. Taking the blinkers off has definitely worked with him because he has conserved all his energy here. Geez, I thought he was in trouble here when Yes, yes, yes was coming at him, and you have to admire the outstanding fight he showed from here on in. He lifted off the canvas. Maybe Yes, yes, yes is still one run behind him and still has a peak performance left. Exceedance was great again. I thought it was a terrific ride. It looked terrible for him on the map, and Tommy Berry rode him so well, Exceedance, to say that get to the fence, get behind him at the right time, and you know, he was only finished less than a length pretty well off them. So 3 terrific colts, and but it's all about Bivouac.
It is about Bivouac.
Nashra Willie, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ride a better race than that and get beat, but look, he ran super. I sort of tried to put it to you and just see if I could crack Bivouac late, but you know, he was just too good. But it was a 2-horse war the last film, and you know, very proud of what my bloke was able to do.
Tommy Berry, Exceedance.
Yeah, look, 2 good quality colts. They sprinted too well for me at the top of the straight again, and my bloke lost a bit of concentration and took him a good 100 metres. But you'll see him at the furlong. He changed his legs, taxed the line well. So he's going to be a better horse next prep. He's still learning what it's all about. So he definitely wasn't disappointing.
Adam Hieronymus, Yadash.
Yeah, fantastic run, considering his 3rd start in the race, and these horses are a lot seasoned than him. Had a comfortable lead, travelled well, picked up nicely in the straight. Just got out-sprinted by a couple horses that are a little bit seasoned than him, but yeah, he's going to be a very good horse.
James McDonald.
What had to say about Exceedance? This round today in the prelude, Exceedance is second favourite, then Kubrick, Soul Patch, Bivouac. Yeah. Castelvecchio.
Yeah, interesting. You know, you'd love to step in.
$7 looks pretty juicy when you're thinking, if you knew he was going there.
Yeah, that would be juicy. Yeah, but it's all in money, and if they don't go, you do your money cold. But I'd love to get a tick off. He's on his way.
Caulfield Guineas Prelude for the Colts and Geldings, and we've been talking about this horse quite a bit over the last couple of days, Dalasan, and it is 210. It's been around the 205, 210 mark for quite a while now. I mean, punters that got the early price of $2.90 seems a long time ago, but there it is out in the marketplace. Alligator Blood at $5.50, Super Seth at 10.
Just looks very hard to beat, I think, on the real raw talent. Hasn't done anything wrong. Form around, he looks terrific, including defeating Scales of Justice. So it doesn't really, I can understand why he's short. $21, 3, 5, 12 and 7.
Well, an incredibly difficult race.
Best back runner. It's come out a bit, and as it should. It got too low. It got into $2 at one stage, so $2.30 now. So you've got $7 Alligator Blood, Super Seth 10.
Signal, and away they go. Pretty good line. Piedra's going back to the end. Super Seth drags back from that wide alley with also Express Pass. Rockabasharana the best to begin, led from Alligator Blood, and then Groundswell behind those horses. Shotmaker deeper, exit of the fence, then Dalasan, who gets to about 6th. Next is High Low, followed by Vinco, Strasbourg, Defiant Dancer. Oh, Your Deal's lost the jockey. Your Deal's lost the jockey at the back of the field. Piedra's about 3rd last with also Creator. Super Seth's been disorganised by the riderless horse, and Check Badly Express passes 2 lengths off the 2nd last galloper. Rockabasharana at the 750 tries to relax the tempo. A length and a quarter Alligator Blood. Exeter 3rd, the inside from Groundswell. Then Shotmaker, Dalasan 6th, the fence from Hilo, Defiant Dancer. Further back is Vinco, Strasbourg, Super Seth, Piedra. Well back Creator, and Express passes last. Up towards the corner, Rockabasharana at the 400 metres by a length and a quarter. Alligator Blood, Groundswell. Shotmaker 4 deep, followed by Exeter. Dalasan trying to get into the clear from Hilo, Defiant Dancer, and then came Vinco. It's Rockabasharana approaching the 200 from Alligator Blood. Groundswell a length and a half away. Dalasan with 3 lengths to make up. Alligator Blood moves up to Rockabasharana. Groundswell wearing them down, but it's Alligator Blood taking the lead, holding on, and Alligator Blood has won it. Photo second. Dalasan has hit the line hard with Groundswell in a photo, then Rockabasharana. A gap 2 next, High Low. Super Seth doing a bit late from Vinco, Exeter. Defiant Dancer, Creator, Express Pass, Piedra. Well back in the field, Strasbourg and Shotmaker. The horse is okay, and jockey Jamie Carr sitting up after that fall at the 1,000 metre mark.
Well, that's great news about Jamie Carr. Let's now concentrate on the winner. Is he good enough to measure up? Damn straight he is. Alligator Blood. He's 5 from 5. He was impressive. Dad won a Caulfield Guineas. I'm sure that's the way he's going to be heading. Dalasan lost no admirers, flashing late. Suddenly now he looks like he's desperate for 1,600 metres. Groundswell.
He was winning quite easily up in Queensland, and today began really well. Ended up having a beautiful run in behind the leader.
And great to see you, mate. This unbeaten son of All Too Hard just keeps lifting.
He does, and good to see you, and good to be in Melbourne. It's fantastic, and yeah, look, I've terrific, rated him well, and wow, he's a bloody beauty.
He is a bloody beauty. What about the name? Why Alligator Blood?
Oh, it's a poker term, and the owner enjoys naming the horses, and it. You know, with a name like that, he's got to be cult following.
He certainly does. His dad won a Caulfield Guineas. He goes to the mile now. He deserves a spot at the big one.
My word, he does. He, look, he's...
For the fillies for race 6, the first leg of the quaddie today here at Caulfield. And Flit is your favourite and is the best back runner in the race. It's currently at around that $3.30 mark. A little bit of money for stablemates behind it, and that is Tenley at $5 and also Lyre at $6. In between those...
Better the Hutchbuster. What do you like?
I like Flit. I like...
Apart from the order.
Yeah, I like her a lot. Flit, I think she'll be very hard to beat. Lyre on the back up, she's a real talent. Tenley was desperate.
Some money for the stablemate Lyre, so we pushed Flit back out a little bit to $3.40. So pretty competitive betting race, but certainly Flit is the best result for punters. 5
and away they go. Pretty good line. Tenley just took a little bit of a stumble there and goes back to the end with La Falaise and Flit, and Lyre's back with those. It's a sea of blue at the end. Acting jumped away fast, straight to the lead from Go Get the Girl, Snap Dancer, and They were followed by South Bank in 5th place. A Gaps and Edwards Crown, Entree Boo and Barbie's Fox. Over a length, She Shall Fly out wide, followed by Sown. Next, the inside 10 Lee. 2 lengths, Missile Mantra, La Falaise, Liar on the outside of Flit at the end of the side of the track. Acting tries to slow it off at the 800 metres from Go Get the Girl. 3rd, the inside is Snap Dancer, and 4th is Knowles. 2 for the backers, South Bank and Barbie's Fox, then St Edward's Crown, Entree Boo, midfield and deep the bolter, followed by Tenley, who's picking them off on the rails. Sown under a little bit of pressure approaching the bend, then She Shall Fly, La Falaise, Flit, well back is Missile Mantra and also Liar. It's Acting, Go Get the Girl together approaching the bend at the 400 metres. Knowles 3 deep chiming in, Snap Dancer needs a run. South Bank to the outside, followed by Barbie's Fox, St Edward's Crown, 10 Lee, Flit still a long way back. Acting pumps for home at the 200 metres, put up 2 lengths on Barbie's Fox, Snap Dancer. South Bank, Flit can't get a run, but it's Acting. Full bore at the 100 metres from Barbie's Fox. Acting is going well, and Acting has won the prelude. 2nd, South Bank, I'd say, from Barbie's Fox. Photo 4th, Missile Mantra, Liar, La Falaise there, followed by Snap Dancer pulling up quickly. Flit never saw daylight in the straight from St Edward's Crown, 10 Lee, Sown, Go Get the Girl. Then a Gap, She Shall Fly, and then it's Entree Boo and Knowles.
Well, Acting, and what a run they're having at the moment. The Busted and Young team, they had a double on Friday night, and Acting wins $19.40 and $5.40, and Tommy Berry, good to see him ride. There'll be many punters out there. They'll be watching the head-on here and watching Flit with the red cap and the Godolphin colours with Huey Bowman. Nowhere to go.
No, he didn't have anywhere to go. It wasn't a good watch if you're on that galloper, but if you're on Tommy Berry and Acting, this little daughter, I think it's of Savabeel. Yes, that's correct. She's won 3 or 4 now, and she keeps answering the call and taking luck out of the equation up on speed. Tommy Berry there.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a great win. Look to
try for someone else. But
Back, we've got 3 races to go here today at Caulfield, and the next race is, of course, the main event. The Group 1 Underwood, and Homesman's been very well backed all week, ever since we opened up the market. And at the moment, so got as low as $2.30, just sitting out now at $2.35 is Homesman. So, we'll probably sort of push it out to $2.40 shortly. Bit of money for Hartnell at $4.60, getting at $5.
Well, punters on their knees at the moment, Hutch. There's no doubting that. It's been a tough day for the punters, and I think Flick for the Group 1 Underwood Stakes, and Homesman is the $2.30 favourite. That doesn't surprise anyone. This small margin. He's aimed at the Cox Plate this year.
He has a lot of good attributes, so he can take a position. He likes a fight. He's got a lot of talent, so those are some things that you like. I'm not surprised the market's coming for him. The barrier, where he maps, his recent form, distance, etc. That they're happy to get behind in the market now, and I'm not really surprised. One each way. I think Homesman and Hartnell both make an easy case, and Gatting back in for 4th, but I'm going with a bit of value.
5 Homesman. Hutchie's tipped the chosen one is at $9.50. Hartnell's had support at $4.20 in between that, and Gatting just out to $6 last time.
For the Group 1 Underwood Stakes. Set at the 1800 metres, signal, and away they go. Hartnell from barrier number 1 began very well. Straight to the lead with Trap for Fools being roused early. Blackheart Bart up to 3rd, the chosen one behind those horses. Galo Shop out very deep is surging up. Gatting's looking for a forward possession. Where's Homesman? Wide at the moment, trying to slot in. They climb the hill. 14.50 out, it's Trap for Fools and Gatting together. A length and a half to Galo Shop, who's 3 deep from Blackheart Bart. Hartnell 5th the fence from Harlem. Then the chosen one, who's next, and then came Canedna. Homesman is back in the field 3 deep, and then your Long Prince Humidor, and Super Titus is at the end on top of the hill. Trap for Fools, the leader, takes a steadier. 3/4 of a length to Gatting at the 1100. 2 lengths away Galo Shop and Blackheart Bart. A length and a quarter Harlem and Hartnell. Then came the chosen one. Homesman's going to be wide the trip, and they were followed by Canedna. Next your Long Prince, Super Titus and Humidor is last as they swing to the railway side. 850 metres to run. It's Trap for Fools 3/4 of a length in front of Gatting. A length Galo Shop wide from Blackheart Bart. A length Harlem. Hartnell's tucked away 6th the inside from Homesman, who makes a bit of ground. Then the chosen one Canedna. Next Super Titus. Further back your Long Prince and Humidor is last. 550 metres to go, and Trap for Fools is going to quicken it up now from Gatting and Galo Shop. 2 lengths Blackheart Bart Harlem. Homesman's on the improved track by Super Titus. Then came Hartnell. Next the chosen one one from Canedna. Well back Yalong Prince and also Humidor. Getting up to Trap for Fools. Galo Shop. Homesman down the outside with Blackheart Bart running on, then Hartnell. It's Gatting just with Galo Shop. Blackheart Bart and Homesman at the 150. Blackheart Bart just in front of Homesman. Previous winners find it out. Blackheart Bart turns back the clock. What a marvel! Blackheart Bart's beaten Homesman, Galo Shop or Hartnell, followed by Gatting. Next, Trap for Fools, Humidor, Yalong Prince, the chosen one, Canedna, and Super Titus is last of all, and Blackheart Bart has won at 100 to 1.
Can you believe it? He has turned back the clock, and take a bow, Lindsay Smith. You can imagine for Lindsay Smith and all of his team, the amount of work they've done to get him back to the races. He was retired, and they decided to bring him back, and somehow they've nursed him. They've got him fitter and fitter. He's 100 to 1 today, and he's knocked off Homesman. He won the race in 2016. He wins the race in 2019, and he's done it at 9 years of age, having not won a race since way back in February 2017. And Brad Rawiller, well, he's been severely injured. He's been back and through, thick and thin. It's remarkable. What a win. Blackheart Bart defeats Homesman, Galo Chop and Hartnell. All the old warriors fight it out.
I really am speechless.
This has been a warrior. You've stuck with him all the way. Look at the emotion in you today. I've won a Golden Slipper and a Caulfield Cup, and I never looked like getting teary, and I'm nearly in tears. Just amazing. Talk me through the run, Brad. Yeah, we begun super well, and look, his first up 2 runs, he just had been really solid from the word go, and he hasn't really travelled, and today he just bounced, and obviously the tempo is always going to be different at 1800, and quite under Lindsay Smith. Geez, it was a brave call to go to 1800, back him up in a week, and master training effort, and I tell you what, I just got to say, Maddie has absolutely been the reason why this horse got back. She deserves it. You know, look, obviously Lindsay's the champion mastermind behind it all, but like I say, Maddie has done everything with this horse, and she really deserves pretty much all the credit. And Tobacco?
Oh, he's obviously a grand old horse. As I said earlier, I thought he was in a bit of trouble last start, but the jockey, he was very confident that he'd come back and run a good race today. He didn't declare him to me, but he was very confident that he'd run a good race and wouldn't embarrass himself. So, yeah, well, I don't know. We got through today, and it's good for the owner who copped a bit of flack. And he got his reward today.
Where do you rank this as
training effort? 3 of the first 4, we were just talking a moment ago, Corey, 3 of the first 4 past the post were 9-year-olds.
The veterans of
the old boys. They've still got it in them.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And look, I think tactically, Eddie Mellon rode a lovely race. He was midfield, one off. He swept around them. But I tell you what a war these two had put on in the last. They both have got a lot of tenacity, Homesman. He doesn't lie down.
You can tell both of them are really strong-headed. They both pinned their ears back and were chasing the line as solid as they could.
Hartnell was good once again.
I can't give up on him. I love the horse. I wished I had got to ride him in my career, but I think by the time I get back, he'll be long gone. But yeah, look, he's been a war.
I feel I'm disrespectful to Blackheart Bart because I want to celebrate his great achievement. At the same time, I think, well, if all these old warriors that have been broken down and nursed back to health and fitness are beating the best of our weight for age horses, well, then surely the Europeans and the Japanese are going to have the advantage.
It's going to entice a few, they're already on their way or they're already here, but it's going to enhance their chances, I think, at a first glance.
Back up today.
Jamie Carr, Gatting. Yeah, he was okay. He's just a better horse with cover. Peter Hall.
Win a cheeky one.
Ben Mellum, Homesman.
I thought it was a really gallant performance. It was a lot more horses pressed forward than I anticipated early, and they were too quick for me. I didn't want to be working up the hill. From the wide alley, he actually tucked in. I thought he had a good run. Got beat by a good horse on the day.
Damien Lane, the chosen one.
Yeah, I have to say he's a touch disappointing. Just wasn't there when I needed him. From the 500, he was just flat-footed. That's all I got.
Hugh Bowman, Hartnell.
He ran his usual honest race. I was hoping for a bit more pressure mid-race, but it was a bit of a sprint home, but he still ran his honest race.
Kerry McAvoy, Humidor.
Yeah, from back in the field, he ran a really good race. He stretched nicely to the line, so he goes out further in trip and couldn't fold his run there today.
500, he was just flat-footed. That's all I got.
Hugh Bowman, Hartnell.
He ran his usual honest race. I was hoping for a bit more pressure mid-race, but it was a bit of a sprint home, but he still ran his honest race.
Kerry McAvoy, Humidor.
Yeah, from back in the field, he ran a really good race. He stretched nicely to the line, so he goes out further in trip and couldn't fold his run there today.